if I was a robber, but, you know, they have to give him a reason to be like, Jesus, this family's about to move back in with their mom. Like, it's getting real bad. Yeah, I don't know, because, yeah, like, literally, yeah, he quits his job in his 50s. Like, also, like, I'm sorry, but like, Ralphie, like, if you wanted to be a writer, you probably should have tried to do this before you had a family and, like, did all this stuff. Like, why now are you putting this entire burden on your wife and your kids, being like, I never got to accomplish my dreams? Why? What were you doing in the 60s, Ralphie? Were you on drugs? What were you doing in the 1960s that you couldn't go off and, you know, try this then when you were young and didn't have a family? Why are you bringing your family into your failure, Ralphie?
What if that was an extra, like, deleted scene where the kids are listening from the top of the stairs as the mom and dad are downstairs looking at the empty tree, and she's like, why'd you have to do so much cocaine in the 60s, Ralphie? He's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, but see, it is kind of interesting. Like, usually I've never seen a movie like this where it's like the dad's like, listen, I've always wanted to be a writer. I know I'm 50, but I'm going to quit my job for a year, and it's all on you. And we don't even know what the wife's job is. So anyways, yes, we beat that to death, but it's just weird. It's just weird. You know what else is weird? Why the hell was this movie filmed in Bulgaria and Hungary?
Yeah, I don't know. We've been seeing that a lot of movies are filmed in random countries, like Lithuania.
Well, I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2022 one, that one was also filmed in Bulgaria, I think.
Yeah, I gotta believe that they have maybe like areas for like these countries like have massive areas where there's hotels and restaurants that are like dog cheap for films to produce, like land specifically reserved or something.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right, because I'm sitting there being like, I don't think Belarus probably looks like Indiana, like a suburb of Indiana. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna guess that it doesn't.
I mean, these countries probably make a lot of money. If they were smart, they'd have like a waiting list. Like if you're making a movie, they're like, okay, 2024 to 2025, we have like 100-room hotel where everyone filming it and acting can stay there, and you have all this land for all the sets, because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's a real bummer that it's too expensive to film in America. Like that sucks, you know. And that's a fairly recent thing. Like I feel like that started in like the 90s, where like, I don't know, they started going to other countries. Canada's a big one, but that kind of makes sense because it's just like, it looks like America. But I don't know. I'm learning a lot about Belarus and Hungary and stuff.
What did you think about the grandpa buying and wrapping all the presents coincidentally?
I find it hard to believe that the mom wouldn't go to the basement from the time her husband died, or no one would have gone down to the basement.
Well, not even that. You're telling me the grandpa went out all by himself, bought 20 gifts, wrapped the gifts, placed them in the basement, and she didn't see any of it. She didn't see a ribbon on the kitchen table, and she was like, what is that? Like, nothing.
Right. And they're both retired, so you'd think they'd be like, we're on a fixed budget right now. Like, are you sure we can afford every gift that everybody wants for Christmas? It's like, sure. It's like, we're literally living off of casserole because we can't afford food, yet we have all these gifts. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Speaking of the casserole, that literally made me gag when the mom was
the
like
mayo ketchup.
No, like taking the food off of their plates and putting it back into the casserole. Like, ugh. I was like, I can't even fathom somebody doing that. Like taking the leftover foods off someone's plate and putting it back in. Like, that's so gross, dude.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The mom's still alive. That's the other thing that's kind of strange, is the actress who played the mom in the original one, she's still alive. Because this woman, the woman that played the mom, the actress was born in 1955, okay? And the Ralphie was born in 1971. So, like, this lady's not that much older. She's like 15 years older than him.
Yeah, they should have had the original mom.
I know. I'm like, where the hell was the original mom? Because she was pretty old. You know who this lady was? She was the mom from Just Friends. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah. Yeah, she looked extremely familiar.
She's the mom from that. Yeah, so they just made her old and whatever. But yeah, I was kind of like, why didn't they get the original lady? Like, she's still kicking. I mean, maybe she's like super old, but
yeah, she might be super old, yeah.
Yeah, she's born in 1939. I don't know.
Oh, that's old as fuck, yeah.
That's how old Al Pacino is. He's still acting.
Yeah. Yeah. only last realistic thing I'm going to harp on was when the dad died and the family was still struggling for money. I'm like, where is the life insurance policy? That was it, though. That's it.
Do they have that in the 70s? Probably, right?
Probably, yeah.
Huh. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. Maybe they just didn't talk about it. Maybe the mom's like sitting on it. She's like, I don't know. Ralphie, I don't know what happened. Your dad didn't have one. It's like, oh.
I spent it all on casserole.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck, Mom? No, so yeah, so that's another thing. I think we're really pulling apart a Christmas movie a little too much. But
you know what else I was thinking? Tell me if you were thinking of this. So I'm looking at Ralphie, I'm looking at his wife.
Oh yeah.
Aaron Hayes, and I'm like, guys.
Smoke show.
There's no way
that they be together?
That she would breed with him.
Oh my god. Well,
come on.
Well, here's the thing. I will say this. I looked her up because I was like, wow, she's really attractive. And I was like, I was going to guess she was substantially younger than him. She's not. She's only 5 years younger than him. So
yeah, but I'm not talking about age. I'm talking about just,
genetics. I mean, yes.
You look at her and you're like, wow, that is an attractive middle-aged woman. And then you look at Ralph and you're just like Smeagol.
Oh my god, that's a little mean. He's not the ugliest guy in the world. Dude, he kept it together. He could have looked a lot worse for 52, or 51. He could look a lot worse.
My precious.
Oh my god, that's kind of mean.
The camera did do a terrible job. There were certain scenes where they messed up the angle, and there had to have been a massive height difference because he looked very short in comparison, and I don't think they realized they did that.
No, oh shit, I can't remember. I feel like I looked him up, dude. I think he's 6'1". I think he's I think he is. I'm gonna look it up right now. I want to see because
a couple scenes he looked like he was 5'3", really small.
He's 5'10". Okay, so he's 5'10".
Wow. Okay.
Now let's see how tall she is. It was Erin Hayes, right? Was that?
Yeah.
Erin, hot. All right, hold on. Erin Carter? Her name is Erin Carter?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's her birthday.
Her married name is Hayes, but her birth name. There's Carter. Her name's Erin Carter. I'm sorry. Too soon.
All right. How tall is she?
She's 5'9" and he's 5'10". So,
dude,
I don't know.
I don't know. You didn't notice that at all? A couple scenes, I literally thought he was 5'2".
I did not notice that.
All right. So, at a 10, what do you think?
I think a 6.5 for a Christmas movie.
You're a piece of shit.
Why? Is that good or bad? I don't even know.
No, it's fine. What'd you say, 6.2?
No, 6.5. I think,
6.5?
For a sequel to a Christmas movie that, I don't know, I was never that crazy of a fan to begin with, but I like it. I mean, yeah.
What would you give the first one?
We did the first one. I don't remember what I gave it then. I think the first one was probably at a 7.8. That's better. It didn't feel like it was trying as hard, the first one. This one felt like they were just trying to recapture the magic. The first one just felt like it was just yeah, I'm on board for this.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, I'd say 6.5 is fair.
It's not bad.
I think it really only works because of streaming is so popular now. I think if this came into theaters, it'd probably bomb.
It would, yeah.
Not because it's a bad movie, just because the average person today, unless you know of the original, has never heard of this actor, most likely. And, there's nobody huge in it.
Well, because I saw Vince Vaughn's name was on it, so I was like, oh, Vince Vaughn's going to be in this? And it's nah, he just produced it. There's not one person from this movie that is a household name. Yeah, I mean, you have to be a fan of this movie, and you have to be of a certain age group. I feel like if you were born in 1975, you probably love this movie. And if you have kids, you've probably shown them this movie. My parents were born 10 years before that, so it's I don't know. They did make a Christmas Story 2 in 2012, so that exists apparently, and apparently it's very bad. So,
Is it with Ralphie?
No. So straight to DVD or straight to VHS or whatever. Yeah, straight to DVD. It's got a 3.4 on IMDb, and it takes place 5 years later, 5 years after the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, and I guess they did a Christmas Story Live, which is probably one of those like Peter Pan Live or whatever that stuff was on Broadway. They did that in 2017. So with the exception of the TBS 24 Hours thing, and then, you know, Christmas Story 2 and Christmas Story Live, like they've been trying to keep this shit alive since 1983.
I'm trying.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think they're going to be done? Could you imagine a sequel to this?
I mean, could I imagine one? No, I didn't ever expect this one. And I think with the amount of streaming platforms that there are now, there's so many platforms buying up certain things like Beavis and Butthead and like South Park and Jackass, that like anything's possible at this point.
I know. Yeah. I'm trying to imagine like a Christmas Story 3, and it's like, is anyone going to care?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if every year HBO pumped out another one just to be relevant to these, you know, competitive to these other platforms.
Just make a new Christmas movie. I don't know. Lifetime and Hallmark seems to crank out like 100 every year.
Those movies are really bad.
Yeah, but I don't know.
They advertise to wives. They're like, "Do you hate your husband? We'll show it by watching this shitty movie."
Yeah, I've never seen one, but I've heard there's one that takes place in Avon, Connecticut, actually. So I'll try and find out the title. I'll let you know. Well, you got any last minute thoughts on A Christmas Story Christmas, Justin?
Nope. Make sure you check out The Mist, which came out on Monday.
And then next Friday we have Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. So we're going from Terrifier 2 to Christmas to, I don't know, like Pete Davidson, like having sex and stuff. I don't know. What's that movie about?
It's a horror film, and they kind of like slash comedy because they make fun of Gen Z. So,
all right, cool. Well, yeah, thanks everybody for listening in. Check out The Mist, and we'll see you all next week with Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.